Sino po ang Chief PNP?
Si Chief PNP Bato de la Rosa, Mr. Chair.
Colonel, ibig mo sabihin malakas ka kay Chief PNP Bato de la Rosa. Very close ka ba kay Chief PNP, Colonel?
Nagkasama po kami sa isang province at saka sa Davao City, Mr. Chair.
Ano ba ang ginagawa mo para sa kanila? Bakit napakalapit mo sa ating Pangulo at kay Senator Bongo?
Unang-una, Mr. Chair, si Senator Bongo po, na minsan nautusan din po ako nung time na yun, Mr. Chair. Kung ano po ang kailangan nila.
Hindi ka naniniwala dito sa sinabi ng ating Pangulo na ayaw ko naman na matawag siya na siya ang Hitler ng Pilipinas.
Colonel Leonardo, totoo ba na ikaw na-transfer from MPD to Region 11 Davao as Chief ng CIDG ng July 2016, Colonel?
Correct, Mr. Chair.
Colonel, ano kaya ang dahilan? Bakit inassign ka doon at sino ang nag-assign sa iyo doon?
Mr. Chair, ang nag-assign po sa akin through memorandum orders, Mr. Chair, is Chief PNP Senator Bato de la Rosa, Mr. Chair.
Nung panahon na yon, sino po ang Chief PNP?
Si Chief PNP Bato de la Rosa, Mr. Chair.
Colonel, sa pagkakaalam ko, hindi basta-basta na ma-assign ka bigla sa isang malayong assignment. Kasi naman ng MPD, tapos nasa MPD ka, bigla kang nilagay sa Davao CIDG. Tama po o Colonel?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
Paanong maaari ibig mong sabihin na na-transfer ka doon, Mr. Colonel?
Meron pong order, Mr. Chair, direct from Chief National Headquarters, Mr. Chair, during that time.
Colonel Leonardo, merong nakasulat dito na true shoot order kapag gusto ka ng Chief PNP, hindi ba? Ano po yung shoot order na yun?
Shoot order po, direkta po, hindi na dadaan ng usual process, Mr. Chair. Nangyayari po yun, Mr. Chair.
So, Colonel, ibig mo sabihin malakas ka kay Chief PNP Bato de la Rosa?
Maaari po, Mr. Chair.
Very close ka ba kay Chief PNP, Colonel?
Nagkasama po kami sa isang province at saka sa Davao City, Mr. Chair.
Marami po kasi nagsasabi sa PNP na ikaw ang pinakamalakas kay Chief PNP. Totoo ba to?
Ay, hindi naman po, Mr. Chair. Hindi lang po ako ang malapit po siguro, Mr. Chair.
Ngayon, ilang taong ka na-assign sa CIDG 11?
4 years po ako doon, Mr. Chair.
4 years, Colonel. Di ba, dapat may clean na yung 1 year or 2 years. Pag sa kakalam ko, hindi po pwedeng papalitan. Bakit more than 2 years yata yung pag-stay natin sa CIDG 11? Colonel?
Basta hindi lang po ako nare-relieve, Mr. Chair. Naghihintay po ako kung i-relieve po ako, Mr. Chair. Hindi po ako nakatanggap ng orders.
Hindi ka nakatanggap ng order para palitan ka na kahit naging 4 years ka na doon, Colonel?
Opo, Mr. Chair.
Colonel Leonardo, Ngayon, di ba nagpatunay ito ng naiba? Kasi matagal kang na-assign dyan sa CIDG 11. Ano ba ang dahilan? Bakit hindi ka po napapalitan?
Nung time po na yun, basta hindi po ako napapalitan, Mr. Chair.
Pakiulit po.
Basta hindi po ako napapalitan kasi wala po akong nare-receive na order, Mr. Chair.
Yun nga Colonel, yun ang ibig kong sabihin. Kasi walang chief PNP na gustong mag-alis sa'yo dyan kasi malakas ka sa presidente, former president, at kay Senator Bongo. Tama ho ba yun na Colonel Leonardo?
Malapit din po ako, Mr. Sir, sa kanila.
Malapit ka kay... Pakiulit po.
Malapit po ako sa kanila po yung...
Kanino po? Pakibanggit po kung kanino.
Kay Senator, ngayon Senator Bongo po, Mr. Chair.
At kay Presidente.
Maaring ganun din po, Mr. Chair.
Maaari ba, Colonel, ano ba ang ginagawa mo para sa kanila? Bakit napakalapit mo sa ating Pangulo at kay Senator Bongo?
Unang-una, Mr. Chair, si Senator Bongo po, na minsan nautusan din po ako nung time na yun, Mr. Chair. Kung ano po ang kailangan nila, kung kaya ko po, at concerning yung pong function ko as CIDG Regional Chief, Mr. Chair.
Pwede mo akong kaming bigyan ng halimbawa na inuutos sa iyo ni dating Pangulo at paano ka nagre-report or vice versa? Paano ka binibigyan ng instructions? Tinatawagan ka ba? Tinitext ka ba? Ini-email ka ba? Paano po, Colonel?
Tinatawagan po ako ni Senator Bongo noon po. Pagka meron lang po mga ipapacheck, meron siyang kailangan information or sometimes meron kailangan i-verify or kung ano man po ang inuutos niya, Mr. Chair.
Ayun, ang ibig ko pong sabihin, ay nakakadirekta kang tumawag anytime kay Senator Bongo. Tama ho ba?
Pag may utos po, Mr. Chair, nakakadirekta naman po.
Nakakadirekta po kayo. So, ano namang klaseng mga utos, Colonel? Pwede ka bang magbigay ng halimbawa, gaya ng na halimbawa may utos sa'yo, Colonel, pwede bang ganito? Pwede mo akong bigyan ng halimbawa dito sa committee ito?
Halimbawa po, may kailangan siya na information at kaya ko naman pong ibigay. Ibibigay ko po sa kanya. At kung wala akong informasyon, magtatanong po ako doon sa kung saan po yung concern ng kanyang itinatanong or kung ano man po ang gusto niyang malaman, Mr. Chair.
Anong halimbawa itatanong niya? Tatanong niya kung anong bayan yan, kung sinong tao yan, o halimbawa, kung anong lugar yan. Yun ho ba tinatanong sa inyo?
Meron din pong ganoon, Mr. Chair.
So kadalasan, yun po ang ginagawa nyo?
Opo, Mr. Chair.
So ikaw ang nagbabalidate o nagbibigay ng impormasyon na kailangan niya tungkol sa isang tao. Tao, lugar, ganun ba ang ibig nating sabihin dito? At syempre, kailangan mo ring i-validate ang isang bagay kung ano ang pwedeng may report mo sa ating boss. Tama ho ba, Colonel Leonardo?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Anong pagkakataon na natatandaan mo yung binalidate mo kay Senator?
May mga incident po na tinatanong niya kung halimbawa may insidente po silang dumating na report sa kanila, tapos yung insidente po na yun ay gusto niyang i-validate. Ako naman po ang gagawin ko, minsan tatawag po ako sa mga region concerned po yung information, then ipapasa ko po sa kanya, Mr. Chair.
So, meaning to say, tinatanungan ka about sa mga nangyayari, sa mga tao, na halimbawa may namamatay o nahuli during the time, Colonel, tama ho ba?
Meron din po mga ganong pagkakataon, Mr. Chair, pero bibira lang po.
So, ibig mo sabihin na pag may nangyari sa isang lugar, ikaw ang tatawag at i-report mo. Di ba validate po sa kanya ang nangyayari, Colonel? Ganyan ba?
Halos ganun po. Mag-check po ako sa isang kung saan po yung
Pwede pakiulit, medyo mahina ang boses nyo.
Ganun nga po, Mr. Chair.
Colonel Leonardo, totoo ba yung naririnig ko na kayo ang paymaster?
Hindi naman po, Mr. Chair.
Sino po ang alam niyong paymaster pag halimbawang may na-validate, may nangyari? Sa aking research, parang ikaw ang kilala mo ba kung sino yung nagbabayad?
Wala po akong personal knowledge, Mr. Chair, kung tungkol sa kung anong itinutukoy niya na magbabayad, Mr. Chair.
So, Colonel Leonardo, gusto ko lang idiin ang tanong kay Colonel Leonardo at malinaw na inaamin niya ang nagre-report siya kay Senator Bongo at si Senator Bongo naman ay nagre-report kay President Duterte. So, ibig lang sabihin, malinaw, ang plano na kaya dinala si Colonel Leonardo sa CIDG-11 ay para pakinabangan nila sa pagbibigay ng impormasyon o taga-validate ng mga impormasyon tungkol sa mga nangyayari noong implementasyon ng war on drugs ng past administration, ng Duterte administration. Tama ho ba, Colonel Leonardo?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Pakiulit po. Tama ho ba?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Ngayon, ang last question ko po sa iyo, Colonel Leonardo. Nabasa mo itong first affidavit ni Colonel Rohina Garma. At binasa niya ngayon yung pangalawang supplemental supplemental affidavit ni Colonel Garma. May tanong po ako sa inyo. Naniniwala po kayo sa dalawang affidavit ni Colonel Garma at pinatotoo nyo pa na itong lahat sinasabi ni Colonel Garma ay walang kasinungalingan at totoo itong sinasabi niya?
Yes.
Microphone, please.
Opo, Mr. Chair. Ito pong paragraph 14 po, Mr. Chair.
So, pinatutuwanan mo lahat itong dalawang first affidavit and supplemental affidavit of Colonel Rohina Garma. So I just want to put on record, Mr. Chairman, that these two affidavits are validated by
Mr. Chairman,
Colonel Leonardo.
who is that person that is whispering to Colonel?
May I know? May I know?
What
who
is the
that
personality of
gentleman
that person?
Is he your lawyer, Colonel Leonardo?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
What is his name?
Attorney Aguinaldo Sergio, Mr. Chair.
Attorney, have you entered your appearance before this committee? Already in the past. You did not change your lawyer. What about the gentleman beside you, attorney? Are you also the lawyer? You belong to the same law firm, I suppose. May I know what's your name, attorney?
Good evening, Your Honors. My name is Attorney Andres P. Manuel Jr.
Attorney Andres.
Yes po.
And did Colonel Leonardo engage your services?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Colonel Leonardo?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So you have two lawyers with you?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, sige, salamat. Please continue.
So, yun lang yung aking huling katanungan na yung dalawang affidavit, pinatotoo lang, that the two affidavit of Colonel Garma are correct. Tama po lahat ito. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Before, are you going to interpolate Congressman
Yes.
Abante? Okay, Congressman Abante, and then Congressman Rog Gutierrez, and then Congressman Nordan Suwan. Please proceed, Congressman Abante.
thank you, Mr. Chair. Colonel Leonardo, I just would like to make a premise of my argument to you, no? Kung maaari ka lang makinig, di ba? Narinig mo na ang ipinahayag ni Colonel Garma tungkol sa kanyang dalawang affidavit. Hindi ko na kinakailangan pang yan ay bigyan ng kaukulang pansin pa. Subalit, for the purpose of clarification, Mr. Chair, Colonel Leonardo, I just would like to make this manifestation before I would ask you a question. Sa wikang Tagalog, ito po ang sinasabi. Ayon sa testimony ni Colonel Garma, sinabi daw ni Presidente Duterte sa kanya na kailangan niya ng isang PNP officer or operative who is a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo, indicating that he needed someone of implementing the war on drugs on a national level, replicating the Davao model. Ang sabi niya, ikaw ay nakasama sa meeting na yan. Itong meeting na ito ay preparatory para sa war on drugs ni Pangulong Duterte. I would like you to know that me personally believe that drugs should not in any way be permeating in this nation. Palagay ko, naniniwala ka rin dyan, di ba? Naniniwala po ako dyan. I believe in the war on drugs. But what I do not believe is when you have to kill more than 20,000 people so that drugs can be stopped. And it did not even stop. Palagay ko, you being a religious person, Colonel Leonardo, naniniwala din po kayo na ayaw nyo ng maraming mga killings. Ano po? Oo. Yan din ang paniwala nyo, di ba? Alright. Ngayon, ito, ang sinabi ng ating Pangulo. I-quote ko, ha. Hitler, I quote, Hitler massacred 3 million Jews. That is his quotation at one time. Mali pa nga yung 3 million It is 6 million. Hitler massacred 6 million Jews, as I correct it. At ang sabi niya, there is 3 million drug addicts in the Philippines. There are. I'd be happy to slaughter them. Palagay ko naman ay hindi ka naniniwala dito sa sinabi ng ating Pangulo na ayoko naman na matawag siya na siya ang Hitler ng Pilipinas. Bakit sapagat binanggit niya to Am I right? O ito po. Ito na po ang question ko, and this will only be answerable yes or no. I am not going to ask any more explanation, Colonel Leonardo. Sagutin nyo lang ako ng yes or no. Doon sa dalawang affidavit ni Colonel Garma na nabasa mo at napakinggan mo, yan ba ay pinapaniwalaan mo? Yes or no?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Pangalawang tanong, also answer by yes or no. Naniniwala ka ba na merong reward system? Yes or no?
May narinig ako, yes, Mr. Chair.
No. Yes or no lang. Naniniwala ka ba na merong reward system? Yes or no?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Yun lang po ang gusto ko. I rest my case, Mr. Chairman. Sinagot na po ni Colonel Leonardo ang aking mahalagang katanungan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Abante. The next interpellator is Congressman Rog Gutierrez. You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, konting katanungan lang po kay Colonel Leonardo. Colonel Leonardo, good evening po, Mr. Chair. Alam ko po, some of these questions were already asked earlier, but given the context of the new affidavit of Ms. Garma, we thought we'd ask you again po, no? So, Colonel Leonardo, can you tell us again, I believe this was asked by Chairman Dan Fernandez earlier. According to the affidavit of Colonel Garma, kayo po ay tinap ng former president to form a special team, no, to replicate the Davao template. Do you confirm this, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
But according to your statement earlier, contrary to the affidavit of Colonel Garma, hindi po ito natuloy.
Hindi po natuloy, Mr. Chair.
Hindi po natuloy. So in a sense, you admit that there is a Davao template po ba?
Meron po, Mr. Chair, yung ano nga po, Tokhang, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So Tokhang, meron pong Davao template and you were tasked with replicating it nationwide. Nabanggit po ninyo na yung original tasking for supposedly yung task force is to replicate it Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Tama po ba to?
Initially po, ano po kami, plano nga pong ganon, Mr. Chair, yung sa task force, na hindi naman po natuloy, Mr. Chair.
Hindi natuloy kasi na-operationalize yung drug war through Operation Double Barrel, Opland Double Barrel. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
But despite the existence of Opland Double Barrel, nag-continue pa rin po ba yung inyong task force in some other capacity?
Hindi na po, Mr. Chair. Nag-follow po kami kung ano yung national implementation nung double barrel, Mr. Chair.
So you are now operating within the terms of Opland Double Barrel. But after that po, no, kasi naalala po natin, nabanggit po sa affidavit ni Colonel Garma, yung meeting po ninyo, which you did not deny, between Class 96 and 97, nangyari sometime in May 2016, just after the victory of the incoming administration, but before taking oath ng June 30, tama po ba?
Actually, parang ano po, last week po ng June, Mr. Chair.
Last week of June pala, sorry. So the last week of June, but before assumption po ng administration.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Ang nabanggit po sa affidavit ni ni Colonel Garma na meron po kayo you were already tapped for this task force. May nabanggit na po sanang operational ideas kayo. But after the meeting noong June 2016, may mga pagbabago. Ito na po ba yung sinabi mong hindi natuloy or more on mga operational changes lang po ito?
Yan na po yun, Mr. Chair, hindi na po yun natuloy.
Hindi natuloy. But despite that, Mr. Chair, Colonel Leonardo, shortly after, 1 week after assumption of office of the new administration, nalipat na po kayo sa CIDG 11. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
So kayo po ay naging regional chief for CIDG.
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
And I believe natanong na po ito dati, pero as CIDG chief, you would only report to either the chief PNP or the regional director. Tama po ba?
Okay, ulit po, Mr. Chair, na
Opo.
ano po ako.
As chief ng regional CIDG, you would only report to 1, your chief PNP, and 2, yung regional director po ninyo. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
But aside from this, you still have admitted before that you have a personal relation with both with the former president. Tama po ba?
personally, magkakilala po kami, Mr. Chair.
But of course, tinap na po kayo for the supposed task force. Kahit hindi natuloy, nagkaroon po kayo ng meeting sa Mandalay Hotel po ba yun?
Sa Panakan po, Mr. Chair.
I'm sorry.
Panakan po, Davao City, Mr. Chair.
So nagka-meeting po kayo. So you're in a familiar terms with the former president.
Nagkaroon po kami ng, na-meet lang namin siya, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Dahil courtesy call po yun, Mr. Chair.
Courtesy call, but you admitted earlier that you were tapped for the task force. Kahit hindi natuloy, natap po kayo ng administration. Tama po ba?
Opo, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so given that you were tapped, and then given that you had that meeting, despite po na hindi na operationalize yung iyong task force, you already had that working relationship while you were chief of CIDG 11. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
So given that you were already, although again, you were tapped, hindi nag-operationalize yung task force, but since you have that personal relation, would at times the president contact you during your stint as CIDG 11 chief?
Hindi po si former president kumokontak sa akin, Mr. Chair, pag may kailangan sila. Then Sac Bongo, Mr. Chair.
So si Special Assistant to the President, Bongo, yung nagko-contact po sa inyo?
Opo, Mr. Chair, pagka may kailangan lang po.
And aside from Sap Bongo, as you mentioned earlier, si Chief PNP Bato de la Rosa would also contact you. Tama po ba? Or for any concerns of the President, talagang kay Sap Bongo lang po yan?
Kay Sap Bongo lang po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Just to clarify also, kapag may concerns yung Presidente, minsan dumadaan po ba ito sa regional chief ninyo sa PNP? Or talagang...
minsan po akong tinatawagan, Mr. Chair.
Minsan po tinatawagan. Pero if the President would not course any instructions to the Chief PNP, it's unlikely that the President will course instructions through your regional chief. And what you've admitted just now po, Colonel Leonardo, is that usually through SAP Bongo po yung mga instructions. Now, Mr. Chair, most respectfully, Colonel Leonardo, what kind of instructions po ang dinadaan po through SAP Bongo?
Kung meron lang po siyang gustong itanong, malaman ng mga information, Mr. Chair, minsan po ako po ang nautusan, nanghihingi ng information sa akin, Mr. Chair.
And yung information po na hiningi nila, this is purely confined to Region 11 matters that would concern the CIDG 11. Is that correct?
Usually, tungkol sa Region 11 po, Mr. Chair.
Usually, pero would they ask you concerns, let's say, regarding Luzon, regarding Visayas, or other regions of Mindanao?
Meron din po, pero bihira lang po, Mr. Chair.
Bakit kaya po tinatanong, why would they be asking you if you are CIDG 11 chief, but they would ask you for information other places? Would this somehow be related with the fact na kayo nga po ang tinap for the operationalization of the drug war task force?
Hindi naman po, Mr. Chair. Actually, they can go straight through to the Chief PNP, Mr. Chair. But there are instances, Mr. Chair, na kung kaya naman sa level ko lang po, minsan ako na po nakautusan just to check, Mr. Chair, or just to give them information. Kung ano po yung inuutos, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, in your experience po, in your many years in the PNP, is it normal for the President to contact a regional head? Isn't it usually for any concerns that they would have? Sa Chief PNP po, tinatanong?
It's not the President who's contacting me, Mr. Chair. It was only then Sap Bongo, Mr. Chair.
Sorry, just to clarify, Colonel Leonardo, but you mentioned that Sap Bongo would contact you on behalf of the President. Or you have no way to confirm?
Well, I believe, Mr. Chair, may direct contact po siya kay President, Mr. Chair.
So it would be understandable kasi po siya ay special assistant to the President. So any concerns coming from him would naturally flow from Malacanang. So you would assume that it's from the President. So forgive me for the semantics when I mentioned earlier that the President would contact you, but to be technically, to be specific, as you said, so it would be Sap Bongo who would contact you for concerns that may involve the President. Tama po ba?
For concerns that he wanted to know about, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And generally, Colonel Leonardo, through the chair, most respectfully, these are drug war-related concerns?
Meron din pong mga information na ganun, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, just to clarify po, no, kasi nabanggit nga rin naman ni Chair Abante. So you believe that there is a payment and reward scheme. Tama po ba?
Narinig ko lang po, Mr. Chair.
Narinig ko. Have there been any instances when you have been contacted by the leaders? In this case, sabi niyo po, si Sap Bongo, did he ask you to verify anything in relation to either the drug list or a payment of reward scheme?
Meron po tinatanong sa akin na information about yung mga nasa list. Ako naman po, tatanong po ako sa PNP, Mr. Chair. Pero doon po sa reward, hindi po ako natanong tungkol doon, Mr. Chair.
Nabanggit po earlier, I think it was Congressman Pimentel who was asking you about a certain list of names that were mentioned in the affidavit of Ms. Garma. Nabanggit po dito yung the likes of Romel Bactat, Rodel Serbo, Michael Palma, Lester Berganio, and Peter Parungo. And you confirmed knowing them. Tama po ba, Mr.
Yes,
Chair?
Mr. Chair.
But you deny that this was the team that you tapped even for your temporary task force? Or do you admit na sila nga po ang kinontak ninyo?
Actually, they were part of the plan, but it did not happen, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so they were part of the plan. And when...
Yes, Mr.
Yes.
Chair. Some of them, not all of them, because the other two are just striker, Mr. Chair.
Strikers.
Civilian.
And you admit to having contacted them because they were part of the plan in which you were going to. So this corroborates the affidavit of Ms. Garma. However, you deny that this was operationalized. You mentioned that upon the assumption of the administration and the operationalization of Oplan Tokhang, hindi po ito natuloy. But how do we account for the fact that Ms. Garma was able to identify them po? Did you at any time inform Ms. Garma of these so-called picks of yours for your team?
I confirm that I actually invited her to join the proposed team, Mr. Chair, but she declined.
Okay, so when you invited her for the proposed team, that's the time that you mentioned to Colonel Garma na ito po ang mga pinili ko nyo for the team, and then ganito yung magiging operational protocol po ninyo, etc., etc. Is that a one-time communication that you had with Colonel Garma when you relayed such to her?
We did not discuss the details, Mr. Chair.
But you discussed the members of the team. Kaya nga nabanggit ni Colonel Garma sa kanyang affidavit itong members na to.
Yeah, we did not discuss. Perhaps he took it from other source, Mr. Chair.
Well, we will have to accept that as your answer, but it should be noted by this committee that these were actually in the affidavit of Colonel Garma. She specifically mentioned in paragraph 22 that Leonardo informed me that he had recalled several trusted personnel. So on the one hand, we have Colonel Leonardo saying that Colonel Garma got this information through other sources, but on the other hand, we have Colonel Garma confirming that it was Leonardo who informed her. But in either case, it is corroborated that these members, these names that were mentioned, were in fact picked by Colonel Leonardo. That's just a manifestation, Mr. Chair, for consideration of the truthfulness of the totality of the affidavit of Ms. Garma. So in addition to that, it was also mentioned here, Colonel Leonardo, in paragraph 23, that you conveyed to her that the task force would be structured differently and that he submitted a document to Bongo detailing the task force's operations, including an overview of the current drug landscape in the Philippines. Mr. Chair, Colonel Leonardo, do you confirm this portion, that you submitted a plan to SAP Bongo? Or at the time, hindi pa po siya SAP, I think.
We did not submit any proposal, Mr. Chair.
So
It was just a plan, Mr. Chair.
Oh, yun. Not a proposal, but there was a plan. And did you submit this, you indeed submitted this plan to the higher authorities?
We weren't able to do so, Mr. Chair, because there was this, there was a plan already for the PNP, Mr. Chair.
The plan for the PNP that existed prior to the assumption of the administration, tama po ba? Because at the time that you had this meeting in June 2016, hindi pa po nakakaupo yung presidente. Tama po?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So at the time that you were crafting the plan, how did you know na hindi matutuloy kung wala pa naman Oplan double barrel?
Meron na pong plano yung sa double barrel, Mr. Chair, prior pag-upo. Bago pa umupo si Senator then Chief PNP Bato de la Rosa, Mr. Chair.
So Mr. Chair, Colonel Leonardo, saan po dun yung fit supposedly ng proposed task force ninyo? Kung meron ng operation Oplan double barrel that was already being planned even prior to the assumption of the administration, tapos tinap rin po kayo, and I think this is corroborated because on national TV, the former president, although it would have been ideal for him to confirm it here today, but since he's not here, we'll have to take yung media coverage for its word, no? Nabanggit na it was admitted that you were picked because magaling, he trusted you with money, hindi mo gagalawin yung pera, etc., etc. So it corroborates the fact that you were chosen. And you did admit to being chosen for a planned task force, although you're very specific in saying na plano pa lang po. So how do we now reconcile na on one hand, meron na palang plano for Oplan double barrel, but on the other hand, tinap rin po kayo to come up with a proposed task force, which in your testimony, nung withdraw naman kasi mas pinili po yung double barrel. How do we reconcile that po kaya, Colonel Leonardo?
Mr. Chair, nung nagpaplano po kami, bigla nalaman namin na meron na po palang plano para i-implement ni Chief PNP, Mr. Chair.
Mr.
Kaya
Chair,
po, hindi na
you
po
mentioned
natuloy.
nalaman po namin or nalaman na lang namin?
Nalaman po namin, Mr. Chair. Kasi I was still, nasa NCR po ako noon, Mr. Chair. So it was already conceptualized that the PNP will implement Tokhang, similar with that of implementation in Davao during the time of Serbato as Davao City Chief Police Chief, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, sino po kaya yung kasama dyan sa namin? Sino po kayo yung nagpaplano nito na nagulat na nagkaroon ng Oplan double barrel?
Hindi pa po nakakaupo si Chief PNP Bato, Mr. Chair. Meron na po mga nagplano sa hierarchy ng PNP because alam po nila yung model na gusto ni Chief PNP, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Sige po. Mr. Chair, to simplify na lang po, Colonel Leonardo, can you explain to us what were the operational or structural highlights po nung proposed task force po ninyo? Kasi po, sa affidavit ni Ms. Garma, Colonel Garma, sorry, may specifics naman po dito kung sino po yung members ninyo, paano po yung financials, paano po yung operations, to an extent. Pero you now mentioned that there was a task force and you admitted to some of the points of Colonel Garma. That although Colonel Leonardo mentioned that the task force did not push through, despite his being a regional chief for CIDG-11, he was still contacted for other matters despite, upon assumption of the administration. Kahit na po siya ay CIDG-11 chief, he was still contacted by SAP Bongo for concerns that might be outside of CIDG-11. These are some things we might have to consider, Mr. Chair, as we push through with this inquiry. Anyway, with that, I'll be concluding my line of questioning. Maraming salamat, Colonel Leonardo. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Gutierrez. Now with that, recognize Congressman Dan Fernandez.
Ano lang ako, konti lang po ako. Kasi na-confirm na rin naman ni former Commissioner
You have 5 minutes.
Leonardo na may reward system. And dito sa tanong kanina ni SDS Gonzales, Dong Gonzales, tinatanong niya kanina kung Colonel Leonardo, sige, nguya ka muna, kaya ka muna. Okay ka na? Tinatanong niya kung paymaster ka and you answer in the negative, di ba? Correct. So, kung hindi ka ang paymaster, no? Yung release ng pera from Malacanang and delivered sa mga operatives na nag-ooperate, paano siya na-deliver sa mga operatiba sa bawat region? Yung pera na nanggagaling sa Malacanang.
I would not know, Mr. Chair, because I don't have any personal knowledge.
You don't have a personal knowledge. Pero
Yes, Mr.
did you hear about a certain phone number that was given to all the different operatives with regards to the collection of that reward money that is coming from Malacanang? Do you hear about that cellphone number? Kasi meron akong certain number that was given to us. I don't know if it is, I'm pretty sure that that number is not functioning anymore. But there was a certain number that must be contacted by those operatives who have successfully conducted their operation. Have you heard about this? Yes or no?
Wala po akong may narinig po akong ganyan, Mr. Chair, pero wala po akong personal knowledge.
Wala kang personal knowledge, but meron kang nadidinig na mga ganong balita about that number for collection of the reward money. Huh?
May narinig lang po ako, Mr. Chair, pero ganun din po, wala po akong personal knowledge.
Okay, dito po sa affidavit ni Miss Rohina Garma, binabanggit niya dito yung sa second affidavit, a certain personality. Ang name po niya is Sunny Buenaventura, who have given her a reward money for a certain debt in the amount of 20,000. Meron ka rin bang nabalita tungkol dito sa kay Sunny Buenaventura about giving this reward money?
Wala po akong hindi po ako na-assign kasi ng local. Hindi ko po masiguro yan, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I think I don't know if we have invited already this person, no? Si Sunny Buenaventura, but meron na tayong show cause order kay Sunny Buenaventura. And there is also a certain Sergeant Suwan who gave also 20,000 to Miss Rohina Garma for certain accomplishment. Also, a payment was given also. Have we invited also? Yes, Madam.
Mr. Chair, namatay na po yan. He was shot sometime parang 2021 po.
So namatay na si Sergeant Suwan.
Opo.
How about si Boy Alce?
Namatay na rin po, illness po. Cancer.
Okay. But si Muking ay boy pa. Si Muking we have already invited also, no? And cited motion for show cause order ata. Show cause order na tayo. Okay. Miss Garma, siguro si Miss Garma naman tanongin ko. Kasi dito sa affidavit mo, may nakalagay dito na your first appointment sa Davao Police Office 1999 pa. Excuse me. January 1999, you were appointed as Chief of Women's Desk sa Davao Police Office. Is this correct?
That was my second assignment with Davao City Police Office, Mr. Chair.
What was your first assignment?
1997, August, HRDD, and then by October of 1997, team leader of the anti-vice.
Yes, it was here. So, nung after your graduation, nung 1997 August, na-assign ka sa Davao City sa administration of Mayor
Mr. Chair.
Rodrigo Roa Duterte. At noong 1997 October, appointed ka naman as team leader of the anti-vice unit.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
At noong January 1999, 1999, hindi na si Digong ang presidente. Ang mayor.
I think, yes.
Si
Mr.
Ben de Guzman
Yes.
ang
Mr.
mayor.
Chair. Yes.
So in other words, naandun ka na sa Davao for so many years.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
At doon mo nabalitaan yung tinatawag na Davao Death Squad because you were there since 1997, 1998, 1999, and when you were assigned sa SASA as Commander of Santa Ana Police Station from 2012 to 2016, that is 4 years. 4 na taon ka sa SASA.
Almost 4 years, Mr. Chair. It's just 3 years and 6 months, I think.
So, in other words, matagal ka na rin talaga sa Davao na na-assign sa different positions.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
At dito mo sinasabi sa iyong affidavit yung mga nasaksihan mo na mga pagpatay sa iba't ibang klase ng mga tao implicated in different crimes with certain amount given after the job was done.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, at Mr. Chairman, andito po lahat yun is nagnakaw, akyat bahay, yung mga binabanggit po dito sa affidavit ni Ms. Garma. And amount of 20,000 was given by those personalities that you have mentioned here. And there was also in your affidavit about the 5,000 that are being given every month para sa reimbursement naman na
Yes.
binibigay ni Yusek Muking.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, basically, Mr. Chairman, this is the pattern that was done in the Davao City during the time of the then Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte. And, ito yung nakikita natin na nangyayari sa buong bansa. And we need these personalities, Muking and si Pedro Parungo to be here in the next hearing, Mr. Chairman. So, for the meantime, Mr. Chairman, yun po muna at maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Congressman Dan Fernandez. Just a short question lang para kay Colonel Leonardo. Colonel Leonardo, I recall that during the time when President Duterte called all the alleged scalawags in the Philippine National Police, hindi ba nagpatawag siya ng isang meeting sa Malacanang? Sa Malacanang ba yun? Colonel Leonardo?
Sorry, Mr. Chair.
Yan, mabigat dyan. Wawa naman, kumakain muna. Si Garma muna, tanongin mo paano. Sige.
Mr. Chair,
Hindi po ba nung naging presidente ang ating dating Pangulo, in one occasion, he was seen on TV na nagagalit sa mga pulis na allegedly ay involved sa recycling of drugs. Ito yung mga ninja cops na binabanggit mo kanina. Tama po ba yan? Na nagpatawag siya ng meeting?
I believe mga scalawag sa rogues camp po yun, mga
So yung mga rogue members ng PNP, pinatawag ni former President Duterte sa Malacanang. Tama, no?
napanood ko lang po, Mr. Chair, pero wala po akong personal.
So wala ka doon?
Wala po ako, Mr. Chair.
During that time, where were you assigned?
CIDG 11 lang po ako, Mr.
So CIDG 11 ka na. And you know, nung pinatawag ni dating Pangulong Duterte ang mga scalawags na ito, sinermonan niya ito eh. Kasama niya si then Chief PNP Bato de la Rosa, tama?
Parang nandun po, Mr. Chair. Napanood ko lang po sa TV, Mr. Chair.
And nandun din yata si General Oka Albayalde. Kung if I remember correctly, dun sa screen grab o yung news na yon, nakita ko na nandun yung mga nakapila, yung mga pulis na mga scalawags at sinabi, tinapon sila lahat sa Mindanao. Is that correct?
Parang ganun po, parang nire-assign. I'm not sure, Mr. Chair, kung saan po pinadala, Mr. Chair.
So you have no idea kung saan pinadala.
Napanood ko lang po, Mr. Chair, sa ano yan, sa...
Kaya ako natanong kasi sa iyo yan dahil ang pagkakaintindi ko, ayon sa salaysay ni Colonel Garma, na ikaw ang overall o sentro. Ikaw ang nasa sentro nitong implementation ng Oplan Tokhang at saka double barrel. And part of the policy or the program is to discipline yung mga scalawags o yung mga rogue PNP members. Hindi ba kasama yan sa pulisiya ng war on drugs?
Kasali po, Mr. Chair.
So kapag kaganyan, halimbawa, ikaw ay scalawag, identified ka na scalawag, tinatransfer ka. In fact, maraming Mindanawan ang nagre-reklamo, bakit sa Mindanao tinatapon? Kung di rin ako nagkakamali, nung sila tinapon doon, nagkaroon pa ng insidente ng patayan. Do you recall and remember those incidents na nangyari sa Mindanao? Na kung saan yung mga itinapon ng mga scalawags namatay doon sa Mindanao kung saan sila na-assign.
Mr. Chair, I have no any particular information regarding that, Mr. Chair. It's,
but you know that there were scalawags that were reassigned from their original post or units. Tinapon sila somewhere in Mindanao. You're aware of that?
Meron pong ganon, Mr. Chair.
Would you be able to give us an estimate kung ilan number ng PNP scalawags ang itinapon papunta doon sa Mindanao?
Mr. Chair, wala po akong idea or data na hawak tungkol po dyan, Mr. Chair.
Well, kasi kanina, ang aking impression, ikaw ang binigyan ng task na ayusin yung mga ninja cops o disiplinahin itong mga ninja cops, no? And based on your story kanina when I was asking you, nakatutok ka doon sa pagdidisiplina nitong mga scalawags na ito na tinatawag mo nga kanina, ninja cops, ninja liit, bangketa cops, etc. etc. So hindi mo alam na tinransfer itong mga ito outside of their present assignments, transferred to another area in Mindanao. Hindi mo alam yun?
Meron po akong narinig na tinransfer pero wala po akong data. Alam ko po na merong mga transfer na naganap, Mr. Chair.
And sa pagkakalam mo, kaya sila tinransfer dahil
I think to stop them from doing what they're doing during
I did not hear you. I'm sorry. Pakiulit mo.
to stop them from doing what they're doing during that time, Mr. Chair, to prevent them
from continuing
furthering their illegal activities,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
So, in other words, they were transferred in order for the organization to discipline them and prevent them from continuing their shenanigans. Tama?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
O, dahil ganun, meron bang nakasuhan?
Again, Mr. Chair, wala po akong data kung
So,
ilan ang nakasuhan or meron.
So, hindi ikaw ang nasa sentro ng pagdisiplina sa ating mga scalawags kung ganun. Dahil wala kang alam eh.
Hindi po, Mr. Chair. Hindi po ako yung sentro na magdidisiplina sa mga... Hindi ko po kaya yun, Mr. Chair. I can only gather information po, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Intelligence operation. Yun lang po.
Ayon din sa salaysay ni Colonel Garma, ikaw ay parang nandoon sa sentro, no? Dahil pagka nagbe-verify kung meron bang nangyaring insidenteng napatay, ikaw ang tinatawagan. Hindi ba? Is that correct? Sa'yo nagbe-verify?
Hindi naman po lahat. Meron lang pong instances na ipapa-verify sa akin, Mr. Chair.
May mga instances na nagpapa-verify sa'yo. Pwede bang
Opo,
malaman
pinabira
kung sino nagpapa-verify sa'yo?
Gaya ng sinabi ko, minsan po magtatanong sa akin si Den Sap Bongo.
Sino?
Den Sap Bongo po, Mr. Chair.
Sap Bongo.
Opo.
And then,
Halimbawa, meron pong nangyari, itatanong lang sa akin, anong background nito? Parang ganun, Mr. Chair. Ako naman po, hingi ako ng report, then bibigay ko lang po sa kanya. Yun lang po ang ginagawa.
at pagkatapos niyang ma-verify, anong sunod na hakbang ang ginagawa ninyo?
Hanggang doon lang po, Mr. Chair. Ako po, tatanungin ko lang po yung region kung meron silang report or hingi lang po ako ng report.
Pero kanina kasi, sinabi mo at pinatotohanan mo yung salaysay ni Colonel Garma na there was a reward money in the implementation of the war on drugs. Sinabi mo yung kanina at sabi mo naniniwala ka at sinasabi mo rin na totoo yung reward money at naririnig mo. Although, hindi mo sinabing ikaw ay nakatanggap ng reward money. Hindi ka ba nakatanggap ng reward money?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
Never?
Never po, Mr. Chair.
Never? So, kung naniniwala ka na merong reward money, saan ba maaaring nanggagaling itong reward money na ito? Sa iyong opinion. In your expert opinion as a seasoned police officer who is in the thick of the fight against illegal drugs, sa tingin mo, saan nanggagaling itong iyong reward money na sinasabi?
Mr. Chair, hindi ko po alam yung sa...
Hindi mo alam kung saan nanggagaling pero naniniwala ka na mayroong reward money.
Narinig ko lang po, Mr. Chair, yung about sa reward money.
Pwede bang ikwento mo sa amin paano mo narinig? At ilang beses mo narinig kung totoong narinig mo lang?
Actually, Mr. Chair, narinig ko lang po sa mga...
Kanino mo narinig?
Sa mga, ano rin po, mga pulis din po na mga kasama ko, Mr. Chair.
So, in other words, dahil narinig mo siya sa mga pulis na mga kasama mo rin, ang ibig sabihin, may katotohanan na meron talagang reward money. Kaya may kasabihan, if there is smoke, there is fire. Naniniwala ka ba sa ganon, Colonel?
Ano po? Ano? Pakiulit po.
Wala naman kasing lalabas na kwento, gaya ng nabanggit mo, na naririnig mo. Sabi mo, naririnig mo. Tinanong kita, ikaw ba'y nakatanggap ng reward money? Sabi mo, hindi. Ikaw ba may narinig? Sabi mo, oo. Dahil ikaw mismo nakarinig mula din sa mga kasama mong mga membro ng PNP. Tama?
Kwento-kwentuhan lang po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Kung kwento-kwento lang yan, kanino kaya pakisabi mo nga sa amin kung kaninong kwento mo narinig yan?
Actually, yung passing na mga kwento lang po, Mr. Chair.
Kasi hindi ka panipaniwala na hindi mo alam na merong reward money because may kasabihan, no? If there is smoke, there is fire. Sang-ayon ka ba sa ganon?
Opo, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Ngayon, dahil alam mong merong reward money at hindi mo naman ito dininay, in fact, nung tinanong ka, pinatotohanan mo na ang sinabi ni Colonel Garma ay may katotohanan. Although, wala kang experience dahil ito'y naririnig mo lamang. Tama?
Opo, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Now, would you have any idea and can you educate us, kami, no? Doon sa area where maraming pulis o membro ng PNP ang namatay, no? Karamihan sa kanila ay napatay ng riding in tandem. Iba ang balita, ang haka-haka ay napatay sila ng kapwa pulis din nila, no? Bakit kaya? nagkakaroon ng ganong klaseng krimen na kung saan pulis ang sunod-sunod na namamatay. Ano sa iyong palagay?
Mr. Chair, tungkol po sa namamatay na pulis.
Yes. Bakit kaya? Maraming pulis na namamatay.
Actually, wala po akong data niyan, Mr. Chair. Naririnig ko lang din po, Mr. Chair. Yung may mga
Maaaring
insidente
wala
din.
kang accurate statistics kung ilan yan. Pero hindi lingid sa iyong kaalaman na meron pong mga pulis na pinapatay. Hindi ba?
Opo,
And
Mr. Chair.
I believe na itong mga napapatay na pulis ay may kinalaman o mayroong involvement o mayroong kaugnayan sa mga illegal na mga gawain kagaya ng illegal drugs. Hindi ba?
Meron pong ganun,
Therefore, dahil may mga civilian, pusher and user na mamatay na involved sa droga, meron din pong namamatay na mga miyembro ng PNP because of drugs o may involvement o kaugnayan sa droga. Ano ang maaaring conclusion na pwede nating isipin noong mga panahon na yon?
Meron po talaga mga ganong incident, Mr. Chair.
Merong?
May mga ganong incident po, Mr. Chair.
I know. Kasi napapanood mo sa TV, sa news, nababasa mo sa dyaryo, nakikita mo sa social media. Hindi naman tinatago yun. In fact, magugulat ka sa dami. But when I ask you kung alam mo kung gaano karami, mukhang hindi mo alam kung ilan yung exact number. The reason why I'm asking this, Colonel, kasi ayon sa salaysay ni Colonel Garma, ikaw ang nasa sentro nitong implementasyon ng gera kontra sa droga. Bilyan ito, pero kung titingnan natin yung records, sila ay merong kinalaman sa illegal drugs. And pardon my ignorance, if I will conclude what I read, what I saw, and what I heard, I would probably say na ikaw ang utak ng lahat ng ito. At kung meron dapat managot, walang iba kundi ang utak. That's why I'm saying, pardon my ignorance. Kasi ito yung aking wala ho akong makuhang tamang basihan sa sinasabi nyo na wala kayong kinalaman. So, ayan, Colonel Leonardo, sa aking palagay, ay marami pa hong dapat patunayan natin tungkol sa kaugnayan ninyo dito sa sinasabi nating war on drugs, which resulted, unfortunately, to extrajudicial killings, either intentionally or accidentally. So, yun lang ang aking opinion.
Para sa iba pang karagdagang mga balita at impormasyon, ay huwag po nating kalimutang mag-like, share at comment sa video na ito, at huwag po rin nating kalimutang mag-subscribe to continue supporting us. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood, at naway tangkilikin po ninyo ang aming YouTube channel.